The party was in full swing, laughter and music filling the air, but Sicil found herself momentarily detached from the scene. She was standing a few feet away, holding a drink in her hand, her gaze fixated on a corner where Ethan and Sebastian stood facing each other. She couldn't make out their words over the noise, but their tension was unmistakable. Their postures were stiff, eyes locked in an intense stare-off, like two warriors sizing each other up before a battle. Sicil bit her lip, feeling a pang of anxiety. She knew this confrontation was inevitable, but seeing it unfold was still unnerving. She could see Ethan's clenched fists at his sides, a sign he was trying to keep his temper in check. On the other hand, Sebastian had his usual cool demeanor, but a tightness in his jaw betrayed his calm exterior. "It looks like things are getting heated over there," a voice said beside her, pulling her from her thoughts. Sicil turned to see Ruby, her closest friend, and gave her a knowing look. Sicil sighed, her eyes darting back to the two men. "I knew this would happen eventually," she admitted. "I just didn't expect it to be tonight." Olivia, her other friend, crossed her arms, watching the scene unfold with a sympathetic expression. "Well, you've got two guys who are crazy about you. It's bound to create some friction," she remarked with a slight smirk. "But you can't just stand here watching them tear into each other. You should go talk to them, dissolve the tension a bit." Sicil hesitated, glancing back at Ruby and Olivia. "What if it makes things worse? They both have strong feelings, and I don't want to hurt either of them." Ruby placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder, giving her a gentle squeeze. "You're not going to make it worse by being honest. They're doing this because they care about you, Sicil. But right now they're just butting heads. They need to hear from you what you want. You're the only one who can diffuse this tension." Sicil took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the situation settle on her shoulders. She knew Ruby was right. If she didn't step in now, things could escalate. And the last thing she wanted was for the party to be overshadowed by a confrontation between the two most important men in her life. "All right," she said finally, straightening up. "I'll go talk to them." Olivia gave her an encouraging nod. "Good, and don't worry, we've got your back. Whatever happens, just be yourself. They need to hear it from you." With a final deep breath, Sicil set her drink down and made her way over to the corner where Ethan and Sebastian were standing, their voices low and intense. As she approached, both men seemed to sense her presence, their gazes shifting from each other to her, the raw emotion in their eyes making her heart clench. She knew this conversation wouldn't be easy, but it was time to face it head-on. Her voice soft yet firm as she addressed Sebastian and Ethan. "Is everything all right?" she inquired, her gaze shifting between the two men, searching for any sign of resolution amidst the turmoil. "Why won't it be?" Ethan said, leaning in to kiss Sicil's cheek. "You look lovely tonight," claiming they both belonged together in front of Sebastian. Sebastian's gaze flickered momentarily, a subtle shift in his demeanor betraying a hint of tension. Sicil, caught amid their dynamics, felt a twinge of discomfort but masked it with a polite smile. "Thank you, Ethan," Sicil responded, her voice carrying a faint note of uncertainty. Ethan's lips curved into a satisfied smile, his eyes lingering on Sicil, as if to assert his presence. But Sebastian stepped in smoothly, his hand outstretched towards her. "Hey, Sicil, it is our song. Let us hit the dance floor," he suggested, a glint of determination in his eyes. Sicil's gaze flickered between Ethan and Sebastian, a silent plea for guidance echoing in her eyes. Sensing her unease, Sebastian's grip tightened around her hand as he led her towards the dance floor, leaving Ethan to stew in his own thoughts. "Sway With Me" played, and their bodies moved in perfect harmony, a testament to the countless hours spent honing their dance skills together. Each step, each turn was a seamless melding of energies between them. Sicil found herself immersed in the moment. The warmth of Sebastian's touch, the familiarity of their rhythm enveloped her, grounding her amidst the chaos. Meanwhile, Ethan stood at a distance. Jealousy flickered in his eyes, an unsettling realization dawning upon him as he watched Sicil and Sebastian move as one. In that moment, he understood that their connection ran deeper than he had anticipated, a bond forged through years of love and understanding. The song ended and changed to lighter music, approaching them tentatively. Ethan cleared his throat to break the intimate silence between Sebastian and Sicil. "Mind if I join you?" he asked, his voice laced with forced nonchalance. Sicil's gaze flickered between Sebastian and Ethan, uncertainty clouding her features. Sensing her hesitation, Sebastian offered a tight-lipped smile, a silent nod of approval. "Of course," he replied with an underlying tension, and he went and stood at the same place where Ethan was standing some time back. When Ethan stepped onto the dance floor, Sicil did not know what to say. The melancholic melody of "How Deep Is Your Love" continued to fill the hall with their eyes locked, with a deep sense of warmth and affection. The night continued its revelry, but their exchange had planted seeds of doubt and introspection within both men, leaving them to ponder over the depth and nuances of the love they professed for Sicil. The unanswered questions lingered, leaving a bittersweet ache in their hearts. When the birthday cake adorned with flickering candles made its way to the center of the room with Sicil, Sebastian, and their family and friends by her side, the room erupted in cheers. Sicil blew out the candles, her eyes sparkling with happiness. The celebration continued with the air filled with the warmth and the laughter of friends. Yet amid the merriment, Ethan found himself standing alone. The pang of solitude echoed in his chest as he observed Sicil immersed in the embrace of her family and friends, especially in the companionship of Sebastian. He felt like an outsider, a figure detached from the closeness that surrounded them. Unable to shake off the feeling of displacement, Ethan made a quiet decision to leave, not wanting to intrude on the intimate moments shared by Sicil, Sebastian, and their loved ones. With a final glance towards Sicil, who was enveloped in the celebration, he quietly exited the scene. Sicil's gaze caught the fleeting figure of Ethan retreating from the celebration. A pang of guilt tugged at her heartstrings. She longed to reach out to him, to envelop him in a comforting embrace, and to erase the shadows of sadness that lingered in his eyes. But she found herself rooted in place, torn between her loyalty to Sebastian and her desire to assuage Ethan's sorrow. At that moment of indecision, Sicil made a silent vow to herself. She promised to revisit this moment, to seek out Ethan and bring back the light to his eyes. She could not bear to witness him in pain, knowing that her absence had played a part in his solitude. Determination filled her heart as she resolved to mend the fractures in their companionship, to bridge the gap that had formed between them. With a heavy heart, yet a resolute spirit, Sicil turned her attention back to the festivities, knowing that her path forward would require delicate navigation. But she was determined to make things right, to find a way to bring joy back to Ethan's world, even as she embraced the love and companionship of Sebastian and her family for now.